everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a smoky liner tutorial using the tape technique. I haven't done this in a really long time, so if you want to know how to get this look, then keep on watching. We're starting with the bare face and we're going to do our eyes first. Normally don't do this, but we're going to switch it up because we want that really sharp outer part of the shadow when we do the liner. So I am putting on the P. Louise eyeshadow base right now. I really love this. It makes the pigment of all of my eyeshadows even better, and it's just a really high quality eye primer. To set the base, I normally don't love to use it tacky. I know some people do that, but I like to set it with a pressed powder. This is just a pressed Maybelline powder. You can use any powder that you want. This is just what I chose to use. So like I said, we're going to use the tape technique. This is when you put tape down and then you're going to do your eyeshadow on top of it. So when you peel it away, it's going to be this nice crisp line. I recommend to put it on the back of your hand first, then put it on your face, because if you put it on straight away when you try and take it off, it's going to hurt really bad. I have learned this from previous mistakes. I'm just trying to line it up, make sure it's all even. I normally just follow my lower lash line, and then that way I know that it's going to be even, and then I won't have like wonky eyeshadow. I am taking the Morphe 39A palette, and I'm taking those two shades that I just pointed to. They're both fairly warm brown colors, and I'm just putting them in my crease. This is to add some definition into that crease part. I have a folded lid, so I need to put something in there, and then we will focus on the liner in a little bit. This is just to add depth and shape into our eye. Now we're going to start slowly building up the darkness on the outer corner. I am just taking a fluffy brush and swiping it on the outer part. That way we're slowly building up the depth and not just going straight in with dark colors. That way it's going to be seamless and transition. Now I'm using the ColourPop liquid liner. This is just the brown one. I feel like the black is way too severe for my eye, and then it looks like I am a raccoon, so we're just going to use the brown one. And this is nice if you feel like you're not good at liquid liner by itself. The tape is kind of a barrier for you, so if you mess up, it's okay, because once you peel it away, it looks perfect regardless. So take your time with this, build it up, because we are going to smoke it out in the next clip. When smoking out liner, I love to use this Morphe brush. It's perfect, and I'm just going to take a chocolate brown shade and start to build up the smoke/blend level. Really take your time with this because it takes a couple shades to blend upwards and then make it actually look like a smoky liner. That's why we put the liquid liner down first, and now we're blending all those shades upwards. Now it's time to go into the black eyeshadow. Don't be scared because you have the tape there for a reason. Go ham with this. Honestly, switch up the brush if you want to, but I still like to use this Morphe brush just because it's nice and straight and it gives me control of the product. That way it's not going everywhere, but we will switch out to a blending brush in the next clip. This is actually an Anastasia brush that comes with her palettes normally, and now we're going to take a warm brown but darker than what we put in the crease. Now we're going to blend it up further, and don't be afraid to use the shade and go even above your lid if you really want it to be that smoky, but I like to keep it quite controlled where the liner is actually supposed to be. But I am making sure that I'm packing the product on the outer part because that's where I really want a lot of that depth. I want the elongated eye, that's what we're going for. And now that I'm all done with that, now I can finally peel the tape off. But when you do this, be careful because it can hurt and you don't want to hurt your skin. For primer, I'm using these two kind of glow oil drops and pressing it into my skin. I was feeling really dry this day, so I wanted to amp up the hydration, and just pressing it into my skin helps not create that redness as much because I do have sensitive skin. and we are now going into the L'Oreal Infallible foundation. I've talked about this a lot. I love this. It makes my skin look really nice and smooth, and I'm just taking a beauty blender and blending that all over. For concealer, I have been mixing. So the first one that I'm using is the Milani Conceal and Perfect. This is a really good shade because it's not overly light, but it has a brightening effect. And then I'm going to use the Kylie one, which is much lighter. So I'm just going to layer it on, and then we're going to beauty blend it in. I actually just got the ColourPop Pretty Fresh concealer, so I want to try and use that in next week's video if I do the makeup tutorial, which it probably will be. So I'm excited to use that and switch it up because I feel like I've been using the same concealer in the past like 10 videos. Now for some cream bronzer. This is the Milk Makeup one. This is definitely one of my favorite products that I've been using recently. I feel like it just adds a little bit more definition to my face before I go in with powder bronzer. So I only have like the little mini size, but once I run out of this, I will definitely be purchasing the big one because this is amazing. Moving on, now we're gonna set all of the high points of our face, basically where we put all of the concealer, just to ensure that the brightness is still there. And I am using the Maybelline Loose Powder. I always use this. It's never going to change. It's great. It blurs all pores and fills in any kind of lines that you have. It's great. So I always have to make sure that I set my smile lines. This is really important to me because they always crease and it's very annoying. And now I'm just powdering the rest of my face. Nothing too revolutionary or interesting. Just doing this so my oils don't come through and break down all the products that we work so hard to put on our face. For bronzer, I'm just using Benefit's Hoola Bronzer. Now we're going to carve out the cheekbones and give myself a jaw and bronze up my 5 head as usual. Nothing new here, just carving out some definition because I look way too one-dimensional. Milani's Rose d'Oro blush. You know I gotta use this. I love it. The only thing is I did a little different this day is I kind of kept my blush more on my cheekbones and I didn't really bring it as much to the center as I normally do. I just wanted to try something different and I kind of liked it. It was cute. And for highlight, this is Cookie by Benefit. I just love this face palette so much. It's great. It has like everything that you need in there. And I'm just taking that highlight and putting it on all the normal places. This is such a good highlight. I love it. Then I took a smaller brush and I wet it and then I put it on my inner corners. I felt like it needed a little bit of brightness in there. And then I did my cute little nose highlight. You know, I love this. And then I put some on my brow bone as well before I did my eyebrows. So, as always, this is not a surprise. I did them off camera. I can't stand to do them on camera. They just take way too long and they're annoying. So, doing that off camera. So moving on to the lower lash line, I'm taking those 2 shades that I pointed to from the 39A palette by Morphe, and we're just smoking out the lower lash line. As I say in every video, don't really love bottom mascara, so I tend to just make the lash line darker and then add some definition and it doesn't look weird. I feel like if you leave the lower lash line blank sometimes, it doesn't look right, so I always have to do this and I just think it looks better. Moving on to lashes. This is actually a Forever 21 eyelash curler. I feel like I've said that before, but it was like $3-4, something like that. and they have like the best eyelash curlers in my opinion. I know that's really random, but they do a great job. And then I go in with, you guessed it, Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. I never use anything else. I just love this mascara. It's so good, and it doesn't make your eyelashes look too clumpy, but it gives me the length that I want as well. So it's just good. Just to finish off my brows quickly, I just wanted to show this because I feel like maybe I haven't talked about it in a little bit, but this is Glossier Boy Brow. It is a great product if you don't love to fill in your brows way too much. This is good on its own, and it's good after filling them in lightly. This actually has been in my makeup collection for a really long time, and I feel like will stay that way just because it's such a staple product for me. So for the lipstick, this is the last thing in this makeup tutorial. You have made it to the end. This is Board Meeting by Huda Beauty. This is her matte bullet lipstick. I think she does bullet lipsticks really well. They feel super comfortable on the lips, and I really like them. So that is it for this makeup tutorial. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed making it as always, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye!